Hello, welcome back to my studio if you've been here before. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm Julie Torrens, and I have a friend today, Robin. So Robin, wave.
Hi guys.
Hi. So Robin is new to art journaling, the same as most of you. She's done some and she's ready to do some more. So we're going to do a page together. It's kind of a repeat, but I just want you to be able to see the process. So we're going to be doing a neutral background using text and other black and whites, and then we're going to be putting a picture on top. So Robin, what supplies have you got? Have you got a glue stick?
I do indeed, right here.
A glue book?
I have a glue book.
Okay, that's what we need, and then just tearing. So we've got a selection of stuff. We've got some text. We've got some music notes. We've got other text. So we're just going to get started on creating a nice neutral background. Now my book is The Friends for Flowers. You guys have seen that before. And Robin has a book that, where did you get this book?
Oh, I got this from Salvation Army. And basically all it is it was just the carrier week from one of the epic flights of Time Life book. And I've just been working through different pages in my journal. And so I've had it for many years. Julie's taught some classes with me quite a while ago, so I'm really excited to get back into it with her. So yeah, it's just a regular little book that I found, and I've just enjoyed doing it.
Great. Okay, so let's get started. And the only recommendations that I'm going to be making for me, you guys do what you want. Robin's going to do what she wants, but when you have this really wide white margins, I'm going to be tearing those off because I want the visual texture of whatever's printed. But then because we have straight lines in our journals, where the book has already a nice straight line, if we can butt that up against a straight line, that's always handy. So we're just using glue stick and we're going to be covering with paper. So see, like I have a straight edge here, so I'm going to put that straight edge here. Same with corners. Corners are nice and valuable. Now you can make these sheets as large or as small as you want. I'm going to be going with about the palm of my hand, and then there'll be some littler ones to fill in. But I know artists that do this with postage stamp size and cover it, and it's beautiful. So it is your art journal. Do what you feel best, but we're just creating a nice neutral background. So Robin,
Yes.
I know that you have said that you've had some kind of art since really young, right?
Yeah. We used to do some extra educational classes for the summer, and I always wanted to do the art classes. So I've had just minor experiences in college, and so for me, I just love to create. I just love to just throw stuff together and see what happens. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And so do you feel like art journaling has given you some freedom?
Oh my goodness, yes, because I used to be really particular about the placement of this and that, and worried about what was going to happen. And I found out through this art journaling that it's so relaxing. I really look forward to doing it. I was so excited when Julie said, "Hey, let's do this together," because it's been a while since you and I have gotten together, Julie.
Yeah.
And so
Years.
Yeah. So for me, it's like, oh, hooray! Because for me, the fact that I don't have to have it perfect really makes a difference, because it's just it becomes fun and relaxing, and I look forward to it. And so I'm always happy if you say, hey, let's do some art journaling. It's like, yeah, because I'm realizing through working with you, Julie, that it's whatever you want it to be.
Yeah.
And you don't have to worry about it being perfect, or having the edges just right, or the paint going just the right way. No, it's just pure fun, relaxation, and I just love it.
And to me, it's wonderful to teach because there is no rules or there is no perfection. As someone who's helped others learn how to do art journaling, I'm not grading anybody. It's the only grade is, do you like it? Not do I like it? Mostly my role is technical. Which is the best medium? Which is the best adhesive? What pages will work well and I would avoid it because it's not going to want to stick? Those kinds of things. But it's not your composition is off or your perspective is off.
Right.
There's art that's important. I am not making small of that. But for your art journal, if you've got one eye high and one eye low, if the lips are big for 2 people and the eyes are small for less than 1, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's not you're not doing a commission work of a portrait of a pet, which again, there's room for that. We need people that do that, but even those people, trust me, they've got an artistic outlet. Now, Robin, when this is getting too sticky, just tear it. Don't think about it. Just tear it off and throw it away.
Perfect.
Because all you're gonna do is frustrate yourself and rip your background papers. So it's not worth it.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
One of the things that I am so thankful in working with Robin is that Robin was comfortable with, we are tearing up books. And Robin, you're a literacy person.
Yeah.
I mean, that's part of your job.
Right.
And so I would have thought tearing up books, you would have been hysterical.
Well, I will admit, for a while it was kind of like, oh, am I tearing this? But once you get used to it and you recognize what you're doing with it, it actually becomes therapeutic. It's kind of fun to just sort of,
It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. It's absolutely okay.
Well, and like I've always felt, I'm rescuing these books from the dumpster. I'm not taking it from a library that someone would have enjoyed. No. By the time these pieces are destined for incineration or something. So
Right.
we're just giving them a new life.
Hey, I wanted to show you, so I was picking this this particular print because I thought, oh, this is really great. And I happened to flip it over to turn the page. And I'm like, I really like this. So I'm going to use it on here.
Yeah,
anyway.
go ahead.
I mean, it's really fun because you don't have to have it perfectly whatever.
It's
right?
fine. No.
Because I really like that little thing, and I thought, oh, I'll find a way to put it in there. So it's true, Julie, you don't have to always have text all the way through.
Oh,
If there's
no.
if there's something that you really think is, oh, this needs to be in here somewhere.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and the only reason why we're doing this was you were able to pick out of an art journal something that you would feel comfortable giving it a try. So, but yeah, no, it's yours. And, that's the other thing. I mean, there are things out of my art journals that I have definitely carefully cut out and hung them on the wall. But mostly not. And that's what makes it comfortable for me. It doesn't have to go on the wall. It's only for me. And, for me, that's another part of the freedom. I'm not thinking about, well, what is the mass people going to be thinking of this? Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to sell it. I'm just learning new techniques, and it's all learning. Robin and I are just concentrating on our tearing. Yeah. Well, it doesn't always tear the way you want, does it?
Right. No. Nope.
Yeah. Sometimes you may see us on videos doing this, and it's only because we've done it literally for years that we can get a sense of it. But when you just grab a piece of paper and you try to, it's hard. The paper is resisting you sometimes. It really is. Okay, I'm running out of unique text, so I'm reaching here. I'm going to see what's in this book here.
And I have this fun little thing. It just says, remember the steam kettle, though up to its neck in hot water, it continues to sing. I just thought that was such a fun little phrase.
It is.
Because I'm musical, I just want to throw it in there somewhere.
Well, yeah, and as we talked about, when you're doing collage work, when you're doing layers like this, you want to keep the viewer involved in the piece. So when they say, oh, there's music notes. Oh, look, mix 1/2 cup sugar. Must be, this is what gives it interest. Even though they're not going to be able to bake a cake when they're done. It just gives that visual interest and it keeps people engaged in your art.
Yeah, it's fun.
It is. It gives the viewer something fun and unexpected. Now, if we don't get our page 100% covered, that's really okay. You know, we don't have to have every little piece, or, you know, like there's a number 92 in the corner of mine. Well, if I wanted that for some reason, maybe it was a significant, well, we didn't have to cover it if we don't want to. Whatever you want. But I feel like this is going fast, getting these covered.
Great, yeah.
There's no rush, but not everything takes hours and hours and hours. Now, Robin, how do you feel about putting it upside down? Like if your text is upside down, or if you're...
Well, me personally, I would have a little bit of trouble with that because I'm such a reader.
True that.
And I would find a way to, I don't know. For me, I don't know if I would be able to handle that. It's just my own personality needing to be able to read it somehow. So for me, it would be a little bit of a problem. But
Yeah.
I would say for other people that enjoy just the silliness of upside down writing, there's nothing wrong with that.
Well, and for me, it just adds another dimension of, oh, look, they put that upside down. But
Yeah.
it's okay. I am okay with upside down or right side up. But what I'm not okay with, and yet other artists do it and it looks beautiful, is catty corner. Like catty corner this way. To me, it feels like everything's gonna fall off the page. So if it's horizontal or vertical, sideways I'm okay with, and upside down I'm okay with, but I don't want catty corner. It gives me an unsettled, like, put your seatbelt on. You know,
Interesting.
everyone sit down.
Yeah, yeah.
The house is moving.
Yeah, that's really interesting because I actually have a little bit of a catty corner
Which
going.
is okay.
Yeah,
I don't
but it's
mind
not-
it.
But it's not horrendous, you know.
No,
It's not
no.
like you feel like you're going to fall off the face of the earth kind of catty corner.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Like I said, there's an artist that I follow on YouTube, and her name is Natasha, and her YouTube is called Treasure Books, and she does art or junk journaling, but her journals are not junk. It's just a phrase, but she will put things, and I would pay hundreds of dollars for the things that she makes. They're just beautiful, and she does catty corner all the time. And it doesn't bother me, but for some reason, I can't bring myself to do it.
Okay, I'm going to be bold and
Yeah, go
brave.
ahead.
I'm going to be bold and brave, and this piece I'm actually going to turn upside down.
All
Aren't
right.
you proud of me, Julie?
I am.
I'm going to do it. I'll make it a concerted effort to not go. What's happening?
Well,
it's all good. It's all good.
And again, it's whatever you want.
Yeah.
It really is.
But I want to learn how to do it. So I'm going to do it with this piece, and I'm going to look back and say, oh, this was the day that I got even a little more relaxed with my stuff, you know?
Yeah.
That's fine. I love it. Let's go for it. There it is. Upside down divinity.
Yay.
Oh, goodness.
Thumbs up for Robin. Well, right now I'm doing red cake, and I know because I looked, this book was like 1970 something, and when I think of red cake and red velvet, I think about the last 5 years. I mean, those cakes, I knew they were around, but they weren't very popular. You didn't hear about all these weddings and they had red velvet cake. I
Yeah.
didn't.
Yeah.
Just recently, when you got married, wasn't it white cake?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was what it was.
Yeah. If you're having wedding cake, then you had a white cake.
Mm-hmm.
Inside and out. Yeah, I was a rebel. I got married in 1978, and we had a marble cake, and the baker was, "Are you sure?" And now, once this is made, you know, "Are you sure?" And I'm yes. So I guess that was even the art journal coming out of me back then. I wanted what I wanted,
Sure.
and I had just as many family members that liked one as the other. So I thought, hey,
You rebel, you.
I am. I was rattling the church rafters
I
with that
guess.
marble cake. They probably had it in the bulletin.
More than likely. All right. How are we doing?
I'm putting my last piece
Okay, I'm
on.
just about done too.
Okay.
I feel like I I see the word torpedo coming through and I'm gonna.
That's
have
all
to-
right.
I guess it'll be okay. We'll figure out what to do with
Torpedo.
it.
Well, torpedo's not like
No, there's many more words that could come through.
well, or
We're good.
if the torpedo hit something, now we would be having
Right.
some issues.
Right.
We don't want to hear about
No.
what it took out. Ugh.
Oh, man.
All right. Well, I am putting the lid on my glue stick. Robin, you keep finishing up, and I'm going to grab step 2.
All right.
Now, one of the reasons why, because those of you who have watched some of my other videos, sometimes we use glue stick, sometimes we use gel matte medium. The reason why we're using glue stick is because we already know what we're putting on top. When I make these types of backgrounds, I'll do maybe 4 or 5 journals and just put one background like that in every one. And I don't know, am I going to do sewing? Am I going to do gluing buttons? Am I going to do acrylics? What? I don't know. But now that if you know what you're putting on top, if it's not a lot of wet medium, then glue stick is fine. And as I say, if you get the right glue stick, it will last. If you're using a dollar store designed for children so that when your child glues something to the dining room table, you can still get it off, that's fine for that, but we don't want that for our art journal because we want things to be just a little bit more stuck on robustly. Okay, Robin, you're good and I'm
Yep,
good.
I am good.
I'll be right back. Robin, entertain the folks. I'm getting us some gesso.
All right. Well, I'm very excited to be on today just to encourage the listeners here that really there's no right or wrong to this. And that's why I feel very comfortable to be on with Julie because it's like, oh, I'm going to be talking. But you know, realistically,
We're all in the
that's-
same boat.
we're all in the same boat, and that's what makes it so fun. Is that this is why I love it so much? Is because you can just relax and do your thing and just enjoy the process.
Yes. So Robin and I are going to be using Liquitex Professional White Gesso. So it's going to be still showing our text, but it's going to be just a little bit knocked back, not quite in competition with what we're going to do on top. So you do not need anything more for this than, these are our watercolor brushes. I need to go get us our acrylic brushes because I forgot about the gesso part. Well, you know what? Forget it. Use what you have.
Oh.
We can put it on with baby wipes. Works beautifully.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah. So here's one for you,
Why, thank you.
and here's one for me. And you're just going to, and I'll get it started, Robin, and then you'll be able to see. Anytime you're using a liquid acrylic product, you have to shake it because there's no way for them to emulsify the binder with the pigment, and then this has ground marble in it, and you know that settles, so you've got to give it a shake. So here we go, and you can always add more, so I try not to get too much, but if you do, it's no big deal.
Okay.
And then I'm just gonna take my wipe. My wipe is very juicy. I'm wringing it out. There, I just wrung it out in my water. And I am going to just take this with my finger and just get it all over the page. And a thin coat is better than a thick coat. We don't need a thick coat, and we just want all the surfaces covered. Because what this is gonna do is equalize it out. So whether you have a magazine page, or if you have a music note page, or if you have the little half-colored, half-cartoon book page, one's not going to be slippery and the other one's going to drag. One's not going to be absorbent and the other one repel. It's all the same. So that's just one of the many features of gesso.
That was quick too, Julie.
Yeah, it goes real quick.
Real quick.
Yeah. And so now, Robin and I are going to be drying this, and you know me, I am not big on drying with the heat gun acrylic products, but gesso is thin, it dries fast anyway, so we'll be fine. We're just gonna go ahead, and then as soon as we're done drying, we'll be right back. We're back. So, Robin selected a design where we're going to do 2 of those dandelion pods and they're just blowing in the wind. So Robin has a pencil, and I'm just reaching across to grab myself a pencil. This isn't the best pencil, but it's totally fine. So what these are, you know how a dandelion turns into a seed pod and then they blow away. So that's what Robin and I are going to be emulating. So we're just going to draw. You can have it big, you can have it little, just kind of think about it. But one's a circle, and it's not going to be perfect in nature, so it doesn't have to be perfect. And then the other one is like a half circle, but it's going to have an oval at the bottom because you're kind of seeing under it. So, yeah.
The half circle with an oval under it.
You're fine.
Okay.
Perfect.
Oh, yay. Okay.
It's just fine.
Got
It's
it.
great. Okay. And then our stems, and I'm just going to put, this stem is going to come right from inside. This stem, I'm going to just put, just to give me a guideline. We may put the stems there, we may not, but these are just our guidelines.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Okay. So, yeah, we're done with the pencils. And that, see, that's all the drawing. And really, if you've done this over and over again, you don't even need that drawing. It's, it's not that important. So Robin and I are going to be using the Jane Davenport Bright Set. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, probably not, but you'll see enough that you'll kind of get a drift of what we're doing. Okay, Robin, are you nervous or are you okay?
No, I'm excited. Go for
Okay.
it.
I just activated the paint. This is just a repurposed hair product bottle that has water in it, and I just sprayed the top of the watercolors just to give them a bit of a start. Robin, I'm going to hand you my Grumbacher 8 round, and I'm going to grab my Royal Langnickel 5 round. And again, any round brush you have. This is not a difficult project. And then I'm just going to give Robin and myself a piece of paper towel in case our brushes get too wet. It's better to be a little dry and add a little more water than to just have everything running, because we do have gesso, so the tendency to want to maybe run is more. Okay, so get your brush wet and then just dab on the paper towel. And now wet the circle, your whole circle. And then if you run out of water, dip again. It's just that first dip. You don't know how much is my brush gonna absorb and how much is it gonna put on the paper. So now I can see I don't want puddles, but it's all shiny.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
What you think?
It's good, yeah.
Good.
And then it's really, you're gonna pick 3 colors one at a time that kind of blend. You don't want to make brown. So like 3 in the red family, 3 in the blue family, 3, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Just 3 that you like. So I'm just gonna take this red and I'm just gonna go dot, 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 dot. I'm gonna rinse my brush. I'm gonna pick another red and I'm gonna go dot, 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 dot. And I'm gonna rinse my brush. And now I'm picking a third red, which is really kind of pink. Dot, 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 dot. That's it. We're just,
Okay.
that's where we're at. So you go ahead and get your dots on there, Robin.
You know me in green, so it's going to be green. First.
Green is good.
Dot, 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 dot.
Yep. Yep. Rinse. Another green. Yep. Perfect. Good. And your last green. Any green.
And my last green. I think it's going to be up on the blue.
That's
side.
good.
That looks like fun.
It is. Again, there's no right or wrong, but
Okay.
I just don't want anyone to get discouraged because it turned into brown. And, like
Right.
orange and green, brown. Those kinds of things. We just want to avoid that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, can you see that mine's running a little bit more than yours?
Yes, I noticed that.
That's okay. But what we're going to just do is give it one spray. There.
Oh, yeah.
And it's going to run a little bit more. And then if it's still not, you can just kind of nudge it. But we want that organic. This is something from nature, so we don't want it drawn in there.
Mm-hmm.
Unless that's what you want. But I would just nudge it a little here, there, especially if you can see a bit of a puddle. Just give it a little nudge. Yeah. And then it'll be fine. Now I'm taking my brush on my ovally shape, and I'm just doing the same thing. You can go right ahead. Just put your water in your ovally shape one.
And using the same color that you already have?
I'm not. I'm going to give it...
just give it okay. got it.
Since I did reds that time, I think I'm going to go with 3 blues for this one. Just because of its interest. So I've got 1 blue And blue and purple are kind of in the same ilk. So I'm going to do a purple. And then I'm going to do, this looks like a purple. Yeah, okay, that's good. And even after we're done, they run a little more. They're not settled, you know, they take a minute. So
I'll finish that with this one, I think. Yeah, it's a slightly different color, I think.
it's
than the
good.
last one.
No, it's very
Okay,
pretty.
Excellent.
It's good. And I would do yours again with I'd give it one spray on top. That's okay. Go ahead.
Boink, there
Yeah.
it goes.
Yep. And then the other thing that you can do if you feel like anybody, I mean, I'm just talking, you can give your paper just a little tip. And, you know, it might help the colors to travel a little bit. Now, I feel like mine is just getting too wet in the middle. Watercolor brushes are very absorbent. So it's dry. I'm just going to pick a little up, top, pick a little up, dab it. Because I don't want puddles.
Yeah, and I see it on mine too.
Yeah, it can happen. And just a couple of dabs and then put it on your paper towel. And a couple of dabs and put it on your paper towel. And then you're just sopping up that extra water. Okay. Now, next step. This is where we may buy a studio, but that's okay. So I hope you can a little bit remember the colors that you use. So I started out with these 3 reds. So I'm going to grab one of my reds, and there's my red blossom. So I'm going to head them kind of this way, but I'm just going to take another brush, and I want these spots, just like that. And then I'm going to rinse, and I'm going to, you can get started. I'm grabbing my next red, and I'm using it, this is pretty wet, pretty drippy, and then just tapping them out. And I mean, I'm getting paint all the way back here by me, doesn't matter. And it's watercolor, so, you know, it's very washable. I would say, you don't want it on your carpet.
I must not have enough paint, it's not doing
But
much.
but how else would you know?
Yeah,
It's
that's
better.
how I know.
Yeah, it's better to have a little too less than have it, you know, getting you, the dog, your husband. See, I think that's perfect, Robin.
Okay,
Yeah.
then do you change color again?
To one of the other colors that you were using, or
Okay.
something, whatever you want. But I just think this guy is going to give his seeds. This guy is going to give his seeds. So that's why these are going to be the blowing away seeds. See, I think that looks great. Yep.
And you can make them as high as you want? is that
Yes, they're blowing.
right? Woo, I'm just gonna blow it right up here to the corner, just for fun.
Get it all the way on mine.
Yeah, you'll really love that.
I don't
Okay.
care.
Oh,
I
that's
really
fun.
don't. It's fine. It's all art. It's all good. And I'm gonna start on my blues. We just have to remember that the walls are white here.
Yeah, I'll do my best.
Yeah. You know what? I like that color combination.
Why, thank you. I like it too.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. I like pinks and I like blues. What I'm not strong on is oranges and fall colors. And I just think because it doesn't get along with my complexion. Now, what that has to do with anything else, I don't know. Maybe that's mostly what my mother and my grandmother dressed me in, was in the blues and the, you know, all fine. But my mother never dressed me in orange. Neither did my grandma.
So you'll like this because I dropped my paintbrush.
Fine.
So that'll be kind of interesting to see what happens over here.
No, it's fine. It doesn't matter.
No, that's what that would have just floored me.
Oh, no.
I made a horrible mistake.
No.
Now I don't really care. I
No.
figure, well, we'll just figure out what's going to happen with this next.
Yeah. There's always a workaround, but really what we're doing is we're creating something out of nature, and it can go any kind of a way. We don't know. We don't know at all.
I'm getting stuff all over your table here.
No, I did. This is me.
No, I know, but I'm managing
doesn't-
to get things here too.
It's fine. And it's just watercolor. We're good.
Yeah, we're all good.
And it doesn't matter. I mean, this is an art table. This is what it's designed for. If somebody walks up to your art table and says, "Oh, you've got paint on your table," good. Find any more?
All right, this looks great. I think we're pretty well.
I do too. And you know
Yeah,
what?
Looks good.
We can add more.
We can.
Yes, I mean, it doesn't matter. Okay,
Perfect.
Robin and I are going to just dry our little flying seeds and we will be right back. You know, you don't have to have this bone dry, but it's because this is watercolor. Your these alcohol markers will be fine. You won't hurt them. It's just when you're dragging markers through acrylic, and we know our acrylic is dry. But we're just going to go ahead. I just don't want anyone to get frustrated because it would be harder if we're using marker on top of wet. Okay, so with your big Sharpie, you're going to first just make your stem from the outside.
Oh, from the outside, got it. Yeah.
Yep. To wherever you're going to have it be ending. Good. And the same with the other one. See, I'm just going from the outside. And now this is going to be a little bit broke up. So what I do is just kind of a few dashes because there's going to be like seeds in the way and things like that. Yeah. And then now we're going to need this kind of a Sharpie. And if that one doesn't work, we're going to try another one. And if that one doesn't, we got bunches. So go, do you have here's a scrap piece of paper. Mine works.
Yep.
Okay.
Good to go.
Now, the way, let's see. That scratch piece of paper went away. I got one. Here we go. All right, so the way, I'm going to exaggerate these seed pods. They have a long stem and then kind of like a flattened out X. So you have to think about where is my wind? So all of my spreckles are here. So my wind must be coming this way. So the tail is a little bit longer and then you've got kind of a this going on.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's always a whirlwind. There's always a something. So if you have them going down, it doesn't matter. But if you want the look of things blowing in one direction, you want all your tails at one direction. Now, when it comes to this guy, and we can start with him, he has some looking straight at us. And then he has some this way. And then, so the long stems are usually coming from the center. See what I mean? I'm making it kind of like coming out in a starburst. So, and this is where we just fill in and fill in and fill in and fill in. Yeah, just like this. And again, you don't think that a dog didn't walk through here, step on it, and now there's a few heading in the wrong direction. It happens. So it's just a guideline. But however you do it, there's no wrong or right.
Oh, I love that so much.
Yeah, no, there isn't. Because again, like I said, and I'm serious, a squirrel's going to drag his tail across it. They're heading in all kinds of directions. It just, but the technical part is, okay, if your goal is, then this is the way you kind of want to do it. But it doesn't matter. Because nature, anything's possible. Anything's possible. But I tell you, if I had a nickel for every one of these I blew as a kid, I would have been retired years ago. Yeah, I would have. This was entertainment in our day, Robin.
Sure.
We didn't have Mario Karts.
Nope.
Nothing wrong with Mario Karts, but we just didn't have them. Did you do board games?
Oh, yeah, very much. Yep, sorry.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, Monopoly, of course.
Mm-hmm. Shoots and ladders.
Shoots and ladders.
Scrabble. So now, if you're doing great.
Oh, thank you.
Just tell me when you get to this guy, and I'm just going to give you some hints on him.
Okay, did I put too many seeds or okay?
No, I think it's good. Look.
Okay.
No.
Do I need to have some on the outside edges too? I see you have yours on outside edges.
You can. It doesn't matter.
Well, I'll throw a few on the outside. See
Yeah.
what happens.
Well, I think that they're not like a globe. They're a little irregular, so that's why I had some kind of sticking out there. But it doesn't. Again, it's just a guide. It's not. You do need a little bit of a guide sometimes I think that eases your mind than to like, where do I put it?
Right.
Well, we put a few bullseyes,
Yeah.
but as long as we hit the target, we're happy. Yeah, just don't throw it and have it hit you in the foot. Okay, so this one. This is kind of like the underside of a mushroom. And so I just put a few spikes, give them their stars, and then I kind of work from there. Because, you know, the underside, it's more, you're seeing more the underbelly of it. You're not really seeing as much of the pods. But now this top one, it's just kind of like this. Just picture it half. But there's just, yeah, perfect. Yes. I just think that obviously that one's going to look a little different than the one we're looking at straight on.
Mm-hmm.
This one we're kind of peeking under its skirt. But they tip over that way. So that's what we see.
So back to the original.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Sure.
The fun thing is that, you know, it's really quite easy to make these. It doesn't feel like,
It's repetition.
yes, and it doesn't feel like, oh, I have to make them a certain way, because
No.
seeds are like that. That's however God created them to be.
Yeah. Tall ones, short ones, broken ones, spiked ones. And I think these things can be a lot like snowflakes. There is no two alike.
Right.
I can take a picture, you can take a picture. It's not going to be the same. We'll recognize it, but they're not the same. Okay, I'm to the point of my flyaway ones, and I feel like my flyaway ones have gotten really dry. All we're going to do is pick out a dot, put a stem on it, and then put an X over it. And we're not going to get them all. But then we may have some seeds that don't have a dot. But, you know, when you can pick out a dot and put a little X and give it a tail, it just kind of shows it belonged to here. It's coming from this direction. That's all. But there's going to be some, you know, behind it that we don't even see that get mixed in. Who knows? It's a big wind. Yeah. It's all good. I have seen so many decorations over the years with these dandelions. I don't know what is the allure, what is the and I like them. I mean, they're almost like fireworks.
Mm-hmm.
And when you blow them, it's almost like you took something inanimate and made it alive.
Mm-hmm. I think there's a abandonment, just a
Yes.
joy about the seeds that kind of just makes you get all excited with them.
Yes. And you do. I have seen children doing them, and the old people that are sitting on the sidelines are just watching and enamored as the kids are blowing the dandelions around. You'd think that they were shooting off bottle rockets. It's just fun. They're fun. I think you're right. It's just freedom. I wish I could fly like that. I've moved over to the blue ones, Robin.
All right. I'm still.
You're good.
Thank you. I'm still interested in what we're doing with this
Ignore
little
it.
wrap here. Just ignore it. Okay.
And put some seeds on top of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's just like a little, you know how when you're looking and the camera makes a little flare of color? Well, you were fortunate. You got one.
This has a lot of flair then.
It's wonderful. No, really, it's fine.
Yeah, all these places where my poor old paintbrush just fell right out of my hand, and it was like, well, whatever. And that's what I love about this, is that, you know, so what?
Absolutely. And so how do you keep from dropping your paintbrush? Practice.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. And that's why I tell people, you know, get your sketchbook out. Get all of it's muscle memory, it's hand-to-eye coordination. It's not just all imagination. Yes, it's partly that, but yeah, I mean, and I, you know, when we work on drawing faces and when we work on making a sunset, it's just again and again and again. And it doesn't matter that, you know, each one isn't the same. Be grateful they're not the same. You know, you just keep trying until you look at it and say, now That's what I had in mind. But it doesn't matter how many it takes. And then I always say too, when you do these things, look at them and say, I really not too crazy about it. Leave it, look at it tomorrow. Your eyes get so full of the text and then so full of the color, and your eyes are tricking you. Wait till tomorrow. You'll see it on the couch, and for a moment you'll think, what's that? Oh, that's my picture from yesterday. It looks different. The other things you can do is hold it up to a mirror, and that turns the whole picture around, and you'll be surprised at how different it looks. And you'll say, oh, I have an empty spot here, or oh, I missed a spot there. It's amazing. It's just amazing how different. So don't be a hard judge on yourself. So while Robin, I'm going to move up just a little here, and while Robin keeps working, right now our dandelions are kind of floating. And anytime you have plants or people or whatever on the ground, they need a footing. They need an anchor. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make some loose grass marks. I'm just making some dashes under their feet. And I mean, if you want them sitting in the middle of cornfield, go right ahead. But for me, I think I want this to tell the story. So I'm just putting some little, and that's it. I maybe put 12 or 14 out there. And then we're going to pull out the paints again. And if you want dirt, pick a brown. If you want grass, pick a green. It doesn't matter. I'm going to go ahead and take a light green, and I'm going to go up here on top a little bit. And I'm just rinsing my brush, and I'm going to take a darker green and go under. And that's it. I mean, no specific anything. And that's it. There's my grounding. Yep. Just so that they've got their feet put down on the ground. And I just think it makes all the difference in the world. Sometimes that's all a picture needs, is just a foot.
Mm-hmm.
Robin, I really, and I mean it sincerely, I like what you created.
Oh,
I
thank
do.
you.
And I like mine. I'm taking my Sharpie, and what do I always say? Sign, sign, sign your work. And that's what I'm doing. Did you have fun, Robin?
Oh my goodness, great fun, so relaxing.
Will you come and do this again with me?
In a heartbeat, Julie. I love it, and I love what you're teaching, and I'm excited for this class. And I hope those of you that are just popping in, that you will just keep popping in, because you will learn just the most fun techniques and have just a fun time doing it. And let others know. Let others know. Julie's just beginning this, and we love it, and we're so excited that she has this opportunity to do this for you.
And all of you are my witness. Robin said she'll join us again.
I will, I promise.
I will see all of you in our next video. Give us a thumbs up. And if you really like the content, share and subscribe. Bye.
Bye.